Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 130 people in 11 different countries, and it should be fun. We're going to do a lot of essential healing, of course, at the start of the healing, which we always do. Aura repair, chakra repair, creative ring repair, and grounding and unblocking grounding. Not in that order. But then the theme that we're going to do is thank you for my confirmations. Thank you very much. I can see and hear you. I can see and hear you from sunny, warm Portland. Yay! I can see and hear you. Hello from Sweden. Hello, hello. I always enjoy just seeing all the different locations. It's just amazing. Very interesting. Exciting. It's like, I don't know, anyway. But the theme is inner peace, having more inner peace and inner harmony and feeling more content in your daily life. So I keep sticking more in there. I didn't probably put that in the YouTube title just because I only have so many words, that I can fit. So inner peace is really the theme for short, but it's more inner peace, more just in that. Because I think, your average, well, my clients are not average. But even my clients might, have like a busy day and think, yeah, inner peace, that's not really an appropriate goal for me today. Maybe because they're a mom or because they have two jobs or, because they're moving tomorrow or, whatever, like a host of reasons why you might just write off inner peace. But the thing is, having more inner peace and more inner harmony adds up to strength and productivity and all the things that you do need, like a stronger immune system, everything. So don't write it off. Don't give up on your inner peace or your inner harmony or feeling content, because it's worth it and you deserve it. You deserve it. So I do actually know probably most of the techniques that we'll do today for the theme. So I could just list those off quickly. We're going to clear failure energy, clear martyr and victim energy. We're going to heal inner wounds so that you can enjoy park bench communication more. I'll explain all this later. We're going to unblock the 7th to 8th chakra connection that you have with your 8th chakra, which is part of your higher self. And so that's always good for mellow wisdom and perspective. And melt cords going into that connection that you may have from other people or invasive beings. So we're going to get that connection nicer for you and help you to call back innocence, peace, and harmony energy that is yours that somehow flew the coop at some point due to some major... I want to use words that maybe are not child appropriate. So I don't know. I mean, these live streams aren't technically for children, but a lot of my clients are moms, and I want them to be able to listen to these recordings while they're, while their kids are awake. So anyway, I'm holding back on the bad words. But anyway, when your day is like really nuts, maybe some of your innocence, peace, and harmony just scattered far, far away, but we'll get it back for you. Don't worry. There's always good news with energy healing. Basically, we can't calm down the chaos in the world, in the external world, but you can really calm down your inner chaos And then that allows you to have a much stronger buffer between you and the chaos of the external world. And so you're less likely to match that fear, chaos, conflict, whatever, emotional baggage energy that is in many people around you. So that's the idea of all this inner transformation. All right. Geeky stats, if you'll indulge me. I know some people like them. So of the 130 people that I will be healing in this live stream, those people purchased this healing. Well, a lot of them have healing subscriptions, so it auto charges them each month. So they didn't buy it on the 15th. But then at least, I don't know, what is it? Maybe trying to do the math. I would say just under a quarter of the people. I make sure there's enough spots to buy manually on the 15th, 2 months early, 2 months in advance. So it's not a closed group. You could purchase. If you're watching now, if you go to my website and figure out how it works, and on the 15th, go back and purchase at the right time. You can purchase one of these group healing sets for 2 months from now. So on the September 15th, then the November sets will be on sale on my website. All right. Geeky stats. Of the 130 people that I'll be healing that are in 11 different countries, 15 are kids. How wonderful is that? Ages 3 to 17. So cute. It's very heavy US this time, but that in turn benefits the world. People in the US get their shit together. Excuse me. There we go. There I go with the bad words. But anyway, so 103 are in the US, 8 are in Qatar, 4 are in Canada, 3 are in the United Arab Emirates, 3 in Ukraine, 2 in the UK, 2 in Spain, 2 in Bermuda, 1 in Germany, 1 in India, and 1 in South Korea. So hello to all the people that I will be healing in this set of 3 healings. This is the first in the set of 3 healings. Today's Friday, and then there's a healing on Sunday and a healing on Tuesday. So it's a set of 3 all around this theme of more inner peace, more inner harmony, feel more content in your actual everyday life. Because the problem is if you can't sort of conceptualize that, then you tend to save your meditation for like once in a blue moon when you feel perfect already. Whereas, if you're working on improving your actual everyday life, you're much more likely to actually heal yourself during your actual everyday life because that's your focus, improving your everyday life. So you grow faster that way and you enjoy your life more. It's always nice. Hello from Las Vegas. I can see and hear you. Hello from Brooklyn, New York. Looking forward to listening in. Well, hello to you. Hi, Janet from sunny Chicago. Well, hello. Someone says I am in inner pieces. I need inner peace. Ha ha ha. Someone says, hey, Janet, we can see you and hear you in Chicago. And someone else says hello from Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. That's why a bunch of my clients live in Chicago. Because Yelp, the website Yelp, it's very local. And so only people within your city range can find you on that website. So back when I lived in Chicago, all the Chicagoans could find me. That's how that happened. You could still review me on Yelp if you want, but I don't really get many clients that way. It's through YouTube these days. But if you did want to review me on Yelp, you're welcome to. It's linked on my website because now it's listed under like Olympia, Washington, which has like probably 1% of the population that Chicago has. So it's kind of a pointless page, but I guess it's still nice. All right, cool. Well, that's all I wanted to say, I guess. Well, of course, even if you didn't purchase this healing, you are welcome to heal yourself as you watch. Once I start the healing, about a minute in, then I start talking out loud and explaining what I'm doing as I do it, so it's an all levels walkthrough energy healing. All right, just want to make sure I got my bearings here. Oh, someone's watching from Garibaldi, Oregon. Hello, hello. I don't know where Garibaldi is. What part of Oregon is that? Today I'm drinking honeybush tea with a little bit of, I think it's called nutgrass in it. It's really weird, chunky stuff that tastes not that great, but it's good for your energy. So it's not, I didn't buy the honeybush with the nutgrass in it. I added the nutgrass to it. Oh, and I have a new teapot. I don't know if I showed you that. How cute is that? Matches my teacup, kind of. All right. Enough silliness. Never. But anyway, okay, so now I will be quiet for about 3 minutes as I finish my prep and start the healing, and then I'll talk forever after that as I do the healing. So thank you for your patience during my quiet time. You can just chill out and enjoy. Okay, thanks so much for waiting. So when you heal yourself, you can make a copy out in front of you of what you are healing. So with your intention or your thought, you do that. So you don't have to yet see energy to do that. So you use your intention and you make a copy out in front of you of your energy system, and then you heal it using gold light from your hands. So you don't have to use your hands. You can heal yourself without hands, but hands are cool. And it tends to make it a more powerful experience. So anyway, you have big hand chakras, one in each palm of your hand and one fingertip chakra in the tip of each finger. And so these chakras have round openings, and you set the openings to be a gold color. Well, you set the chakras to be a gold color. With your intention, again, you don't have to be able to see energy to do that, but set it to a metallic gold color so that as these chakras naturally spin, they are generating energy at that vibration, that metallic gold color, which is a good color for healing and letting go and repairing, unblocking. So then you just comb through your copy and you use the gold light to repair, unblock, etc. So let's do grounding. I have to take notes because later within a day in the comment section there will be a detailed healing summary that I write that has timestamp links so that you can go to any significant part of the healing later with the timestamp links. So go ahead, recreate your grounding. Make it red or orange or yellow is what I would suggest. Something, one of those three colors, any shade of one of those three colors, just because those colors are not too triggering for your lower chakra, so it'll help you be even more present if your grounding is one of those colors. And once you have created your grounding, and again, I would suggest, again, I didn't say it this time, but I always say it, make your grounding as wide as your aura, which is, if your aura is nice and expanded and flowing, it's as wide as, say, the heel of the palm of your hand. So you make your grounding that wide and keep it wide all the way down to the core of the earth, and wide behind you, in front of you, to your sides. And make your grounding come up high as your third chakra, which is right where your sternum bone ends. That's your third chakra right there. So, and then you can make a copy of your grounding out in front of you and unblock it with your hands. Just imagine any blocked energy in your grounding. And just use the gold light to saturate it and melt it away. The energy blocks can look like a mountain that's not supposed to be there, or a stack of books that's not supposed to be there. You want your grounding to be flowing downward very rapidly, then that helps you release a lot all the time, which helps you manage stress really well. Your grounding is nice and wide and unblocked and flowing. So you can imagine, just imagine you're grounding and round up all the energy blocks. You can make a big pile of them and just saturate that pile with gold light and melt it away. And again, round up all the energy blocks in your grounding and melt them all away, saturate them with gold light. So sometimes things don't naturally wash away out of your grounding if people are cording to them. So you can just be aware of energy blocks that, say, your family members or your coworkers or somebody you know is cording, and just imagine those energy blocks and melt the cords away from other people using gold light, and then melt those energy blocks out of your grounding. You can blow them up too if you're healing yourself. If you're healing someone else, blowing things up is too bossy. Sometimes you have blind spots to people in your life, like, say, your mom or your boss or, your best friend or something. So as you're aware of your grounding, just be aware of the blind spot area or several blind spot areas that you have that where, you know, those people might hang out or dump their energy, and just melt that stuff. Just, it's not going to help them. It's actually kind of bad karma for them to dump in your grounding or just hang out there. So just wash them out with gold light, wash out that whole area, melt it away. Because your grounding shouldn't be like a public hangout crash pad. Sometimes those people actually have, you know, sort of not very nice intentions. Sometimes they're just confused about the impact that it has on you. But you don't have to worry about why. Just melt it all away. Again, so these are the blind spots that you have in your grounding that you were forgetting about. Little areas that people are dumping and hanging out. And just wash them all out with gold light, gold fire, gold water, whatever. And you can even say, if you still imagine those people going, oh, what are you doing? Say, hey, go talk to your angels, go check your own grounding, go have a good day, go take a deep breath. Sometimes people blame themselves for things, and so that's why they have a big pile of junk in their grounding they're not actually clearing. Like, well, that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been a jerk, so blah, blah, blah. I feel bad about it, blah. You know? So go ahead, find some part of your grounding where you just kind of train wreck on blaming yourself or, you know, whatever. And so you're not actually clearing the blocks there because you're just getting lost in some kind of a negative thing. And just find that area. We'll call it your little train wreck area. Or you mentally train wreck rather than cleaning it out. And just find your train wreck area of your grounding. It's surrounded with lots of gold light, saturate it with gold light, and just melt it away. Again, we're melting away the train wreck area of your grounding that somehow you're just, you know, getting into this like mental loop about it and you're not clearing it out. You can also wrap that area in gold light and take out whatever junk is there. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, wrap around in gold light your train wreck area of your grounding and take all that junk out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So, okay, so that was grounding and grounding unblocking, including what we just did, which was clear out, unblock your mental train wreck area of your grounding. That was fun. So that's the kind of thing that can really help you to manage your stress better. Because it'll make your grounding work better. Abel. 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 Sorry, my dog, he keeps messing with himself even though we have a big cone on his head. Somehow he still manages to harm himself. Okay, cool. So we did grounding. So now let's do aura repair of your 17 auras, which are the 2 regular auras, the one generated by your physical body chakras, your major 7 chakras along your physical body spine is called your physical body aura. And then your astral body aura is the one that's generated by your major astral body chakras along your astral body spine, and that's called your astral body aura. And then you have 15 more auras called your Wei Qi auras, which help with strong boundaries. Super, super helpful. So we'll repair them all at once. So you just imagine all 17 of your auras out in front of you, and don't imagine like some perfect state that they're not in. Just imagine them as they are. And you don't have to be able to see energy perfectly or at all. You just use your imagination. It still works. And first you can just comb through everything. Comb through all your 17 auras. They're pretty much in the same place. So, you know, if you had like really like sort of just a teeny bit of clairvoyance, it would just look like one big bubble, even though it's 17 auras in the exact same place. So anyway, you imagine them all, comb through them with gold light. Use lots and lots of gold light to heal and unblock and repair. And we're going to do this is just sort of a general checkout and starting to work on your auras by combing through. So then let's do composite copy technique, and that will be the main way that we repair these auras. So you just, for composite copy technique, you imagine one rip in that represents all the rips in your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle to heal right now, to repair right now. So you imagine that one composite copy rip that represents all your rips that you'll be repairing, and you repair that one rip, right? So you can imagine it like a big valley, a big deep rip, and then just wash it out with lots of gold light. You want to clean it out really well because otherwise it can't fully repair if it's just stuck with lots of junk. So an easy way to make sure it's cleaned out, even if you can't see energy yet, is use sticky gold wax, which is you generate gold light with your hands, but you, with your intention, make it into a hard gold sticky wax that sticks to anything that's not you, and then you get to lift it all out as a lump and give it to your angels. So you have your composite copy rip, you fill it up with your sticky gold wax, which sticks to everything that's not you, invasive beings, invasive people, energy cords, junk, energy blocks, whatever. And so you just take all that as a big lump and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Right, so let's do that one more time. Fill up your composite copy rip with sticky gold wax and have it stick to everything that's not you in this rip that could be in the way of your repair, and just lift all that junk out all at once with the wax. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. Breathe into all your major joints. Your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your wrists, your toes, your fingers, your head. Okay, so now just use more gold light to repair this rip. Now that we cleaned it out really well, the gold light should permeate fully. And then you should be able to, provided you use enough gold light, and you're just patient, so you give it enough time, the rip should repair it, and therefore it would repair all the other rips that it represents. And sometimes I like to make another composite copy rip in case there are a few stubborn rips that still haven't repaired, and then repair that one. But I don't bother doing the wax again. And then maybe another stubborn, another rip representing the stubborn rips that still haven't repaired, and just finish up by repairing that one. Okay. So then now we will repair aura scarring and aura bruising. And we can do that at the same time. Don't have to, but we can. So aura scarring is at the edge of any of the auras. You can have some of it, like a patch of it. And it's a residue from having been damaged and then it got repaired, but maybe not 100% fully. So it's like a little hard and bumpy, like a crust, and we don't want that because hardness is weaker than like a flowy strength, a flowy cohesion. So that's what aura scarring is. And then aura bruising is a similar thing, actually, but it's more internal and it tends to be in multiple layers in those two regular auras that have 7 layers each. So you can have like one spot with a couple layers of sort of hard bruising. And again, it's a remnant of having energy thrown at you. So put copies of all your bruising and your scarring all in one spot, big pile of bruising and scarring, and just melt it away with gold light. And take your time and keep breathing into your toes and into your everything. And again, we are melting away aura scarring and aura bruising from any of your auras. If you have any that's a little stubborn, go ahead and make a new pile of all the remaining aura scarring and bruising that you have and melt that. And you can make another pile of any really stubborn aura scarring or aura bruising that's still there, and then go ahead and melt that. All right, so you can just take a couple deep breaths into all your major joints. You could do a little stretching if you want. So let's do sticky gold wax to get rid of all the hard energy objects that could have been thrown at you recently or a while ago, but they're still there. So that could be like things that look like spears, things that look like wedges, whatever. They're just hard stuff that shouldn't be there. You want just you want just flowing energy. That's you. So you imagine you're everything, all your auras, your physical body's in there, your astral body's in there, and your physical grounding, your astral body grounding are in there too. Well, is in what you're imagining. So your auras, your groundings, and your bodies. And just sticky gold wax the whole thing and have the wax stick to all the hard objects that you're ready to get rid of. Anywhere, including in your grounding, around the outer surface of your grounding, around the outer surface of any of your auras, inside, around, or in any of your chakras, major or minor, any of your body systems, any of your meridians. And so we're gonna remove the hard objects in the sticky gold wax. Remove it all at once like a big lump, give it to your angels, right? So move out the wax and the junk, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. A few deep breaths into all your major joints, including your hips. And then just a little bit extra repair. I guess we could do 2 rounds of sticky gold wax because I don't have to explain it, so it's fast. So again, sticky gold wax your everything, just like you did before. Sticky gold wax everything. And remove the wax and the junk all at once. Move it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And then just finish up the repair at the edge of any of your 17 auras. If you have any leaking, you want to repair up that leak so that you get to keep your energy for yourself. And repair the outer surface of both your astral and physical body grounding, in case you have any gashes or leaks there. And your grounding. Usually people have the most compression in their inner layers of their auras because you get present starting at the top of your head, and then as you get more present, you're making more flow. But you know, people tend to be more present in the upper chakras than lower chakras, although that's not necessary. The more advanced you get, then you're in all your chakras a lot. But anyway, long story short, let's unblock the inner two aura layers because they tend to need it the most. So we're unblocking layers 1 and 2 up here and layers 1 and 2 down here of the numbered of the regular auras, but your Wei Qi auras, we can just unblock, you know, this area above your head and below your feet. And that space closest to your body, you know, where first and second layers are, all around your body, just unblock with gold light. So you can imagine your body like this and unblock here and here, and then imagine your body like this. And, you know, sometimes if you imagine in a different way, you notice different things. So unblock especially in front of your tummy area and behind your lower back. All right, good. So that was aura repair plus extras, including what we just did was unblocking aura layers 2 and 1 for your regular auras that have layers numbered like that, and just the inner part of your Wei Qi auras. So just some extra aura unblocking. So let's do creative ring repair. So creative rings are above your head, 1, 2, 3. They're 3 gold rings, and they generate a nice inspiring vibration of gold light that then comes down and helps your 7th chakra most of all, but can flow down to all your major chakras and help them all. So just imagine a copy of your creative rings out in front of you, and your creative rings can be smashed and cracked and stuff. So that's no good. They don't work as well that way. So just, and people can be courting these rings too, and or invasive beings. So just melt away any cords, wash away any energy that's around them, just so it's only you. And the more you wash them off and keep using gold light, then even if there are little hairline cracks in them, they'll repair. Or if there's a part where they're smashed, the more you use gold light there, they'll just kind of grow back together properly. The ring itself will just repair. A lot of times the damage is in the front or the back or the sides. But it could be anywhere in these rings. Let's do sticky gold wax for the rings too, which is unblocking. So we're doing repair and unblocking of the creative rings. So you have your creative rings, and you have like your 7th chakra too, which is just beneath it, right? That's in the top of your head. You have 2 7th chakras really, your astral body 7th and your physical body 7th. And they fit into each other when you're present. So you can just imagine one cylinder shape, round opening the top and the bottom for your 7th in there. And that's representing both your 7th chakras. And then you have your 3 gold rings, and just sticky wax the whole thing. Sticky gold wax the whole thing so that it sticks to anything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to remove. And then you're going to remove the wax with all the junk and give it to your angels. So move this wax and the junk off, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. Let's do that again. So imagine a copy of both your 7th chakras and your creative rings out in front of you. Sticky gold wax the whole mess. Get the wax on the inside too, all around, and the undersides, and also in your 7th chakras. You want the wax to stick to anything that's not you. Cords from other people, invasive beings, invasive energy from other people, whatever. Energy blocks, yada yada. So you're going to move the wax and the junk out, give it to your angels. Move the wax and the junk out. Angels, here you go. A couple deep breaths, breathe into your toes and everything else. So that was unblocking your 7th chakras and your creative rings. Moki Mo, shush. Moki. So I'm just doing a little extra unblocking of your 7th chakra. Both 7th chakras. Which actually, what we're going to be doing soon, clearing failure energy, helps the 7th chakra a lot. 7th chakra is for identity, confidence, goals, creative inspiration, all sorts of great stuff. Intention. Okay, so that was creative ring repair and unblocking plus 7th chakra unblocking as well. So chakra repair and unblocking. You have so many chakras because you have the 2 sets of 7 chakras along your spine, but then you have all those chakras of the minor chakras, but minor just in size, not in importance. They're important, very important. But anyway, you have all these energy meridians that Chinese medicine has labeled and everything, and they all have little chakras inside them that that are maintaining the flow in the appropriate direction within that meridian. And so all the little points, the acupuncture points in those meridians are little chakras, minor chakras. And so it's really easy though, unfortunately, if somebody like blasts or cords a certain meridian, they can blast a bunch of energy and blow out a whole bunch of chakras at once, like damage a whole bunch of chakras at once. These minor chakras. So like you may have all your major chakras fine, but then like, you know, maybe 20% of your minor chakras are damaged. And these meridians are so important for how you feel, how you think, how you function, how your body functions. So they're really important. So long story short, chakra repair is so worth the time. You can learn how to do it really quickly, you know, and then you don't need a video walkthrough. I mean, there is an 11-minute standalone video that does this, but you could just memorize the process and then do it whenever, because it helps. So anyway, we're going to use composite copy technique to repair all your major and minor chakras. You just, the shape of a chakra is a open cylinder. So like this, there's a cylinder and then there's round opening and round opening, right? And so you just imagine one chakra that represents all your major and minor chakras, and you just repair this chakra, and that way you're repairing all your major and minor chakras at the same time. So use lots of gold light. And take your time. Keep breathing. And you may have cords, just melt those cords away. The only cord I would say keep is at the first chakra only with your child that's 13 years or younger, if you're the parent. Anyway, so go ahead, melt cords, repair with gold light, unblock, melt away the blocks inside or around the chakra. Mo. And you can get so much junk, like kind of glommed on a damaged part, that it doesn't fully repair. So we don't want that, right? So just lift out the junk, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And do more repair. So you can lift it out with your intention, or you can lift it out just with sticky gold wax. So we could use that. Sticky gold wax, just put sticky gold wax inside this composite copy chakra, and then all around the outside too, and have the wax stick to anything that's not you. So cords, beings, people, whatever. And get rid of all of it at once in a big lump. Angels, here you go. And now your repair should be more effective and thorough. Again, we're repairing all major and minor chakras at the same time. All of yours. You're repairing all of your major and minor chakras at the same time. You can get energy blocks stacked up around the round openings, or wrapped around the cylinder part, or inside the cylinder part, kind of jamming it up. So just melt away all of those blocks. The blocks inside. You just imagine some and melt them away. Imagine some more and melt them away with gold light. Imagine some blocking the round openings and melt those with gold light. Imagine some more blocking the round openings and melt those with gold light. Imagine some around the cylinder part and melt those with gold light. Keep breathing. Stay here, wiggle your toes. You can think about the theme, inner peace and harmony, feel more content each day. And just imagine any energy blocks in or around your chakras that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, so that you can have more, that would help you to have more inner peace and inner harmony. So lift out those blocks that are in the way of that. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out more energy blocks from your chakras in the way of your inner peace and harmony. And you could blow them up if you're healing yourself. You could melt it with gold light, or you could hand them to your angels. So again, you got your composite copy representing all your major and minor chakras. You imagine the energy blocks in the way of your inner peace and harmony, and feeling content, lift out those blocks and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, awesome. So you can blow that up or give it to your angels. So that was chakra repair and unblocking, just in general, and also to help the theme. So we did our 4 essentials: grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, and chakra repair. 4 essentials. And then we added thematic stuff in there that was cool, and some extra inner aura layer blocking, unblocking in there too. So let's do clearing failure energy. And again, this can be conscious and subconscious. It's pretty easy to have subconscious failure energy, even if you feel like a pretty competent person. An example is perhaps one of your parents has some kind of an illness, like a mental illness or a physical illness, very common for a child, even an adult child who is, well into their adult years, to feel that somehow they have failed because their parent is not as well and happy as humanly possible. It's just a sort of a primal thing, I guess, that kids feel like they need to, give their parents perfect lives, and maybe if the kid was better, their parent would be healthy, their parent would be living a perfect life, and it's their fault, right? So hopefully that wasn't too triggering. But anyway, like I said, even if you feel pretty happy, and there still could be something like that that's very subtle and subconscious, that you feel like you failed one of your parents, or you failed, a childhood friend, or you failed, at some job that, you got laid off from or something. So there can be very subtle levels of feeling like you're a failure. I mean, there could be really obvious ones that affect you, like even consciously, but I think it's more common to have more subtle ones that really affect you, but it's not like you're thinking, oh, I'm a failure. You just, maybe you're an overgiver and you're a little too stressed out, and you're a little too hard on yourself, or you kind of miss opportunities for fun because subconsciously you're kind of mopey about feeling like a failure. So we don't want that, do we? So let's do blanket exercise for it, because that's super easy. So that was explaining, and now we will do clearing failure energy using blanket exercise. Right, so blanket exercise could not be easier. Basically, you make a big old blanket out in front of you, and you can put it far away if you're like sort of nervous about feeling stuff. And you pile on top of the blanket all your failure energy. Just boom, just purge it out and pile it on your blanket. All your subconscious failure energy, subconscious energy blocks about failure. And this could be too, maybe people told you were a failure, but so it's their energy about you being a failure. So it doesn't matter, if it's yours, if it's somebody else's, just any energy that says you're a failure, that says, whatever, that you're not good enough. Put that on the blanket, and then just be like, wow, that's a serious pile. And then you say, angels, is it okay for me to clear all this? And of course your angels say, oh my gosh, like, yes. And then you can just melt it off with gold light. If there are cords from other people into the pile, yeah, you can melt those cords too. But just make sure the pile completely melts. Gold fire, gold water. You could blow up the pile too if you're healing yourself. But just melt all the failure energy. No more failure energy. Just melt it all away. If you have any left over, just say, angels, can you help me clear that? All right. So let's be thorough about that, right? We don't want any leftover failure energy. And this is something you can do more later, like on a subsequent day or week or month, because maybe later you're ready to clear deeper levels of it. Like, because, you have past lives too. So there could be stuff that, you just weren't strong enough to clear before, that you can clear in a week or something. But anyway, let's do everything that's healthy and gentle to do right now. So new big gold blanket, put all your failure energy from this life or past lives that's good for you to clear right now. Make a huge pile. Say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? And then go ahead and clear it. So you can blow it up, you can melt it with gold light. If there are cords and that's in the way of melting some of it, just melt the cords. You want it all to just melt away completely. Moki Moo! This is that noisy boy that you were hearing. Hey, Moki. Yeah. All right. Well, now that he's made his guest appearance, I'm gonna move him. But maybe that's Moki. I'll give him one of the dog beds. That'll make him happy. They love stealing the dog beds. That's so unfair to the dogs, but anyway. So, all right. Any leftover failure energy you feel like clearing, go ahead. Give it all you got. Clear your failure energy. You can do it. You are not a failure. All right. If you have any leftovers, say, angels, help me clear that. All right. So that was clearing failure energy using blanket exercise. Great job. You're a success at clearing failure energy. Alrighty, so now that we're in the mood to clear the icky stuff, let's clear martyr energy. And victim energy. Clearing victim energy can be misunderstood sometimes. Like that you're making up your victimization. It's not that you're making up that you were victimized. It's that maybe it's like if you're still in that sort of like, oh, this just happened and something was just done to me, and you don't like switch out of that mode fully, then you can sort of invite more of it. Which, then people are all like, oh my God, you're victim shaming, blah, 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 whatever. It's just, the universe is not at all fair. And so it's just a fact that that how you relate to the world can impact how you're treated. Not fully, like somebody, I've told this before, somebody told my husband and I that he was like, oh, I think, racism, it's all in how you, if you just have a positive attitude, no one will treat you badly, if you're a person of color, which is like not the case. And that person is white and completely living a very privileged life, and they didn't know what they were talking about. So it's not all like what you put out there, but there is a portion of that, though, that it does impact to some degree. So anyway, that's what victim energy is. It's like you're easing out of that the state that being victimized puts you in a way. That state of like, like being overwhelmed and being oppressed. And so as you fully ease out of that and get more completely in balance, then you're vibrating at your own strength and your own harmony, and that attracts different things to you. So there's still, racist people in the world, if you're a person of color, that might be wanting to mistreat you, but they may mistreat somebody else who has more victim energy than you, which is sort of awful to even think about. But anyway, this stuff helps. Long story short. So we're clearing victim and martyr energy within us. And it could be from past life situations that you've been through. So like, say, in this life I'm white. White, that label. But my last life I was not. Other lifetimes, you can be all sorts of different, from different places in different lifetimes. So anyway, it's good to clear. So big blanket, gold blanket, we'll do gold blanket exercise again. So that was explaining. So let's do, we're doing clearing martyr and victim energy. Martyr energy can make you overwork and not sort of give yourself little deep breaths or, little treats or, little moments of levity. Martyr energy can kind of lock you into this like work, where you like really run yourself down and you don't heal yourself. You don't, like take 5 seconds to do this or that. you don't seek balance because you're kind of stuck in this rut of martyr energy, which just like, it's very, you forget yourself, you forget your own needs. So anyway, all that stuff sucks, right? So make a big old blanket out in front of you and dump onto it all your martyr energy, your victim energy, dump it all on the blanket. And then just say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? And of course your angels are like, are you kidding? Yes. But just make sure. And then just melt it all with cold light, or you can blow it up if you're healing yourself. So again, we're clearing victim and martyr energy from this or past lives that you have in your space. And we're using gold light from your hands to melt it away. Okay, if you have any leftovers, say, angels, can you help me clear that? Okay, so let's do that again. Make a big gold blanket out in front of you with your intention and just dump onto it any of your victim and martyr energy that you have in your space from this life, from past lives, conscious or subconscious, doesn't matter. It can be energy from other people that put you into that mode. That's relevant too. So any victim or martyr energy, make a big pile, say, angels, is it okay to clear all this right now? And then go ahead and clear it. Lots of gold light, gold fire, gold water, melt it all away. If you have any leftovers, say, angels, help me clear this. All right, good job. Pat yourself on the back for that one. We can go ahead and clear stebs just in case. Stubborn triggered energy blocks. The acronym for that is STEB, stubborn triggered energy block. So they're just energy blocks that could be triggered in front of your inner aura. Usually they'll come to the front when they're triggered, or the top of your 7th layer. And they're stubborn, they haven't cleared yet, even though we've done all this amazing clearing work, because somebody's cording them and you haven't yet melted that cord. So let's clear stems, because generally that'll make you feel more comfortable, less jumpy, less sort of triggered. So just make a big pile of all your stems out in front of you and soak them in red earth energy. And melt all the cords going into them. Use gold light, gold fire, gold water, whatever you like. Melt the cords going into your stebs. And then you can blow up your stebs, or you can melt them with gold light. Melt all your stebs. If you have any leftovers, the angels help me clear these. Couple deep breaths. Breathe into your toes, into your fingers. Let's do that again. Put out in front of you copies of all your stebs, or your actual stebs, doesn't matter. But your stubborn triggered energy blocks, just pile them out in front of you. And bring up red earth energy, soak them in the red earth energy. Use gold light to melt cords going into these energy blocks. And then melt all these energy blocks, or blow them up. All right, good job. So that was clearing stebs, stubborn triggered energy blocks, 2 times. So as I was prepping for this, I was looking at this one couple that I heal. And part of their issue is that one of them overworks a lot and has a lot of imbalanced work baggage, let's say, and the other one feels kind of like the other person feels maybe like they don't get enough attention in the relationship. And on subtle spiritual levels, they are receiving companionship energy from their spouse, but they can't really feel it because they're not getting it in the way that they would like. You know, they feel kind of ignored because they think their partner overworks. So even though their partner is sending them energy on a spirit level, that's, you know, clean and that's companionship energy, they can't receive it because they feel like they're just a bit, they expect it a certain way and they're not getting it that way, and so they feel like they're not getting anything from their spouse. So that feels a lot of recurring conflict. So the thing is, there are I have these videos called park bench communication videos. There are 2 of them. If you search Janet Wright, park bench communication, like a park bench that you might sit on in a park. So separate words, park bench communication. But anyway, the idea is with park bench communication, you it's like you're both sitting on a park bench looking out at a scene together, like a lake and some ducks and some trees and, you know, the sky. And you're talking as you look at the scenery. So there is companionship, there is communication, but it's more diluted. It's not like this sort of face-to-face stuff. It's more low-key, but it can be very special and very nice and very sentimentally valuable if you're open to it. So this is what I mean by park bench communication. And some people, this is the only style that they are comfortable with. Stereotypically, that's a male partner that is most comfortable, or perhaps even only comfortable, with park bench communication. So sometimes, like, a woman might say, oh yeah, we have the best communications when we're driving somewhere, because that's sort of enforced park bench communication. When you're driving, you're both looking forward, watching the road, you know, right? So it's not like an eyeball to eyeball, you know, soul bearing kind of moment. It's, you know, you're experiencing the scenery and the road as you hang out together, right? And so a lot of times a guy who's more comfortable with park bench communication, or a female, they might be more forthcoming during that car ride than they usually are, because it's park bench style and they like that. They're comfortable with that. So the opposite of that is small table communicating, where you imagine it's like you're at this little square restaurant table, you know, with like a white tablecloth, and you're just, or whatever color tablecloth, and you know, you're just sitting there at this small table, you're staring at each other sort of eyeball to eyeball, and it's very like, you know, this is how I really feel. Oh yes, I think you really feel that way, and this is how I really feel, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's much more engaged and can be much more like self-revealing, and so some people really crave this. I call this small table communicating. So the thing is, if someone's a park bencher and their partner is trying to do this small table communicating with them, it will freak them out. It'll stress them out. They'll feel like it's an FBI interrogation or something. They'll feel like they potentially will get very avoidant or very defensive even, and angry. They'll just feel really stressed out and triggered by that small table communicating. So it's nice to be able to switch gears depending on who you're talking to. You know, what type of communication are you able to share and enjoy together with that other person? And this could be with a parent, this could be with a sibling, this could be with your own partner, with one of your children. You know, it could be that 2 of your children are small table communicators and one of them is a park bencher. And if you know that, and you can switch gears with them and have a communication where you're much more at ease, the both of you, when you communicate with each other. So anyway, so the videos go into a little bit extra detail on that, but that's basically the whole thing in 5 minutes. So the problem is, you know, if someone's overworking and they have a lot sort of going on baggage wise, they're probably most likely going to be a park bencher. So then that spouse that I was looking at, you know, as I was prepping, she had inner wounds that made it impossible for her to really enjoy park bench communicating. She felt like ignored and abandoned. And these inner wounds from actually past lives made her feel that way with this park bench situation. So if we can heal her, if she can heal her inner wounds, well, I'm going to heal them because she's in the healing. But by healing these inner wounds, it allows you to be able to switch gears and truly feel comfortable and actually happy in both modes. Although it's more likely that, a park bencher is going to not love the small table communicating. But to be able to enjoy the park bench communicating, that's kind of like that very inner peace and harmony kind of a vibe that we're talking about, where you're having your own experience as well as talking to somebody else. So sometimes that small table is just too intense to really enjoy your inner peace. And so if you can't switch modes, you could actually be overstimulating yourself all the time by, always trying to initiate this sort of small table communicating with everybody. And so what we're going to do is heal the inner wounds so that you can enjoy park bench communicating. Let's keep that focus clear. So I hope that makes sense. So now let's do. All right, so healing inner wounds could not be easier. So we're going to specifically, first let's heal any inner wounds that you need to heal right now, just in general. So you can imagine the wounds out in front of you like slashes, and just paint them with pretty gold light from your hands. You don't have to be able to see, you can just do it with your thought or your intention. But just, paint the slashes that represent your inner wounds with lots of beautiful gold light from your hands so that the slashes melt away and get healed. La, 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 la. And you can imagine some more inner wounds that you need to heal right now, and just in general for any reason. And just imagine them like slashes out in front of you and paint them. Let the gold light from your hands really soak in, and they melt away and they're healed. So just enjoy that, filling up the slashes with gold light and letting them repair and heal. And it doesn't matter how long ago it happened, the gold light can still heal it. So keep breathing. You're healing inner wounds that just in general you need to heal. It'd be really good for you to heal. Good job. So let's now, so that was in general, just in general inner wounds you need to heal. So then we'll do for park bench. So imagine out in front of you slashes for any inner wounds that prevent you from really, really enjoying park bench communication with your partner, with anybody. So any wounds in the way of you enjoying park bench communication and really finding it enriching and satisfying, and just melt away those inner wounds. Again, these are inner wounds in the way of you really enjoying and being satisfied with park bench communicating. And just melt away, paint them with gold light, and just let the gold light do the work for you. And melt the slashes. And again, these are any inner wounds in the way of you enjoying park bench communication. If you have any left over, just say, angels help me heal those. And we'll do another batch. So again, if you're having conflicts with your spouse, I know that, on the surface it can be about all sorts of things, but just give this a try. Imagine out in front of you any inner wounds in the way of you doing park bench communication and enjoying park bench communication with your spouse or your partner. And just imagine those inner wounds in the way of you doing park bench communication and really finding it enriching. And just paint those inner wounds with gold light. And just let the gold light heal these inner wounds. Good job. So if you have any leftover inner wounds that need healing, just say, angels, can you help me heal these? And again, that's definitely something you could do over time. More and more. Let's do one last batch of inner wound healing, just for the theme. I mean, I saw that the inner wounds that were in the way of park bench were very much in the way of inner peace, but maybe there are some other inner wounds that aren't about park bench that could help if we heal them. So imagine any inner wounds in the way of you feeling more content, more inner peace, more harmony in your everyday life. Imagine those inner wounds out in front of you and just paint them with gold light from your hands and just let them melt away. Allow them to be healed with gold light. So any inner wounds in the way of the theme. More inner peace, more inner harmony, feeling content in your daily life. And if you have any left over, just say, angels, help me heal those. Let's do that one more time. Any inner wounds in the way of this theme. Having more inner peace, more inner harmony, feeling more content in your everyday life. Imagine those inner wounds, heal them up with gold light from your hands. Take your time and keep breathing. All right, good job. So that was a lot of healing inner wounds. First, so that you can enjoy park bench communication with anybody that you know, if that's what works for them too, of course. Including within your marriage or your partnership, but with kids, with family members, whatever. And then just healing any inner wounds in the way of you having more inner peace, more harmony, feeling more content in your daily life. I'm going to do little like rebalancing thing, creative ring flaps, and also magnetic alignment. Chakra alignment and magnetic alignment. Just sort of all at once. So you can imagine your creative rings, 3 gold creative rings, and then all your major chakras. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 6 through 1 are oriented this way with round opening in the front and round opening in the back. 7th is oriented this way with the round opening in the top and the round opening in the bottom of it. So you got your 3 gold creative rings and then your 2 sets of 7 chakras. And with the creative rings, that top creative ring especially, just keep melting away cords from it so that all the flaps close. So the flaps, they're just these little flaps around the outer surface of really any chakra opening or creative ring. So this is how the flaps look like when they're irritated. And then when they're not irritated by energy cords and energy blocks, then they relax and they're flush with the surface of the ring. So they don't stick out anymore. Right? So that's what we want. We want them to be so relaxed that they're just flush with the ring and not sticking out. So just melt away cords going into your creative rings and energy blocks around them or in those little flap areas. Just melt away cords and energy blocks so that the flaps fully relax. Especially in the top ring, because then that helps all the rings. So people that have a racing mind, or maybe even sort of unwanted negative thoughts a lot, tends to be that their flaps are open of their creative rings. It makes your mind like too busy. So that's very theme relevant. So what are we doing? We're just melting away cords from the creative rings and unblocking that area where the flaps are so that the flaps can relax and be fully shut. And then we'll do chakra alignment and magnetic chakra alignment. So chakra alignment is simple. You just don't want one knocked out of place or knocked out of orientation. So just get your 7th first, right where you want it. The one at the top, your 7th chakra, both astral and physical. Just heal them with gold light until you feel like they click into the spot they're supposed to be. And then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can do them one at a time and just kind of heal them until you feel like they click into place. Should be pretty easy because we did a lot of chakra work already. But spend extra time on the lower chakras. And again, you're just using a lot of gold light, melting cords, unblocking until you feel like they just click into place. Click into alignment with the major chakras above them. So that's regular chakra alignment. And then magnetic chakra alignment is that each of these chakras has a magnetic field around it. And those magnetic fields, oddly enough, are not always perfectly centered around the chakra. They can get knocked out of whack. So for example, like here's the round opening of the front of your 5th chakra and then the round opening of the front of your 4th chakra, and they are now aligned, right? They're in a straight up and down line, but the magnetic fields, the sort of 3D gold force field around each of these chakras is not aligned. One of them got knocked out of place. So you just imagine these magnetic force fields around your major chakras and heal them enough, run gold light through them so that they click into place with each other. So then it's like they just sort of lock together like magnets, the magnetic field, and that actually strengthens your auras, which is kind of interesting. And it just feels better. So this is magnetic alignment. And you may need a little extra work on your lower 2 magnetic fields of your 2nd chakra and your 1st chakra. All right, so that's magnetic alignment. So we calmed down the chakra flap, the creative ring flaps, and we did regular chakra alignment and magnetic chakra alignment just to help you feel more inner calm, which of course is good for the theme that we're working. I'm double checking people's grounding as I'm going. Everybody has a pretty decent flow right now. But you can double check your grounding flow. Just imagine a big grounding. Imagine you're grounding, and you can change the color of it to red or orange or yellow. And just check and imagine any blocks in your grounding and just melt them away. So this is grounding, unblocking. Oh, you know what? We didn't do indie grounding. So yeah. Usually I stick that in right after in the grounding section. But anyway, so indie grounding is just you imagine that outer surface of your grounding and you melt away any connections to other people that are going into your grounding. So that your grounding doesn't connect to theirs, theirs doesn't connect to yours, and everybody's grounding works a little better. So that's indie grounding. You imagine your grounding and just melt away the connections. You can say, hey, go check your own grounding. Go ask your angels for help with grounding. Sometimes, like maybe with teenagers, you know, they may link up their grounding to other teenagers, but it messes everybody up. It doesn't help. So just, you know, you might want to, if you have teen kids, you might want to remind them, hey, you know, if you ground just for yourself, it's really going to pay off. Yeah, you can have friends, but have your own grounding, have your own unique grounding. All right, good. So that was a little bit of grounding and blocking and indie grounding. Stuck in there. So we're near the end of what I needed to do in this healing. I want to do two other things that I had said at the start too that we would do. So the 7th to 8th connection, let's unblock that and melt cords going into it. So your 7th chakra is in the top of your head, helps with confidence, identity, creative inspiration, goals, intention, empowerment, so many good things. Your 8th chakra, you can imagine it, it looks like a gold sun above you, so above the top of your aura even. So if the top of your aura is about here, then your gold sun would be at the closest, like about a foot above the top of your aura. But it could be like 10 feet above the top of your aura if your higher self just really isn't interested in like whatever you're watching on Netflix or something. But then later, if your higher self is like, ooh, you know, this is really interesting, it reminds me of a past life, then your higher self will move closer. You know, so that's okay that your higher self moves closer and further out. It doesn't matter. But the point is you should have an unblocked, nice connection at all times to your from your 7th to your 8th chakra, because that way, you know, your 8th chakra sends down healing energy and wisdom that you've gained in past lives. So you can just imagine your 7th chakra and then a gold sort of flowing river that is a cord, but it's like, imagine the inside of it. So you make sure it's nice and flowing and it can allow a lot of energy from your 8th chakra down to your 7th chakra. So you imagine the gold cord between your 8th chakra and your 7th chakra, and then you just imagine if there are any clogs and just take your time and melt away the clogs. And sometimes where there's a clog, there's a couple cords from other people, so just check for that and melt away those cords. So again, you imagine from your 7th chakra to your 8th chakra, see if there are any blocks in that flowing river, and melt the blocks, melt away the cords. Because you want this only to be, you know, your eternal wisdom coming down to your 7th chakra. So again, get a sense of any cords from other people. Just melt those away with gold light. Even if you have young kids, there's no good reason for anybody to cord this 7th to 8th connection. And just sense any blocks there that you're ready to get rid of, and just melt them away with gold light. And then melt away any cords from other people. For example, you may have like a bossy sibling, or a codependent friend or ex-friend or something. Just they may be cording here, so just melt away the cords. All right, good job. Woohoo! So that was unblocking your 7th to 8th connection and melting any cords going into it from other people or invasive beings, I guess, too. Getting rid of all that. Speaking of which, yeah, I guess I'll stick that in. You may have invasive beings, and sometimes they are, you know, really trying to mess with your inner peace and your inner harmony and all that. Sometimes they're just opportunists, you know, little invasive beings, and you already had a bunch of damage, and so they just sort of floated on in to, you know, take some energy. But so they don't really have like a focused agenda, you know. But some invasive beings do, you know, create chaos and you know, accidents and drama, and so that might be their thing. But some invasive beings, they might just accidentally be contributing to your inner chaos because they're blocking everything up by being there. So either way, let's get rid of invasive beings that are at all impacting you in any way. Well, that are, yeah, any invasive beings, period. Get rid of them. But especially, so we help this theme. So you can just imagine like a big crowd of invasive beings. You can imagine far away from you, so you're not kind of like disturbed by the thought. But just imagine a crowd. It can look like just like a bunch of clouds, or a bunch of little tornadoes, or a bunch of little windstorms, or a bunch of blobs, a bunch of heavy blobs. Some of them are heavy, some of them are real like overactive. Anyway, you can say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? And then you just let your angels do the work for you. And again, if it helps, you can imagine like a mini you, like a big globe for all your auras and your grounding, and just imagine any invasive beings within you or even away from you but cording in to mess with you, and just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings that are messing with me in any way? And just keep breathing, stay here, wiggle your toes, breathe into all your major joints. And you may have some agreements with invasive beings, maybe from a past life, or just subconsciously you were not at your smartest at some point and you made an agreement with an invasive being. Sometimes I see that with people who are very fearful, like they're afraid of getting pickpocketed or something, and so they have all these invasive beings around them that they think are protecting them, but they're not. So, you know, that's an example. You know, maybe you thought at some point in some lifetime, oh, these big, scary, invasive beings, they're going to protect me. But they don't really, and they just cause trouble. Angels can protect you without causing trouble and drama. So anyway, just go ahead, imagine any invasive beings that you have agreements with that are there, but they're invasive beings, and go ahead and imagine those agreements like pieces of paper or sticks or rocks or whatever, and just melt the agreements away. You can say, angels, help me do this. Angels, help me to melt any of these unhealthy agreements with invasive beings. And just melt them away with gold light. And you can say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? All right. So that was just basic recycling of invasive beings, and then also clearing agreements with beings that you may have, and then also, again, just getting all them recycled. Okay. And then we'll call back. So, this may or may not be the last thing we're doing in this healing. We'll see. But go ahead and call back. We're going to call back your innocence energy and, of course, your peace, inner harmony, and contentment energy, wherever it is, wherever you left it. So you can use any gold 3D object that you make, like a big gold cube or a big gold sphere or a big gold pyramid, whatever amuses you, and just use it like a magnet to call back your energy from wherever it is, so that way you don't have to go around finding it. And just stay present, use your little gold 3D object like a magnet and call back your innocence energy. Call back your inner peace energy, your inner harmony energy, your contentment energy. Just call all that back into your object, your gold object. You can make it expand in size the more you call back if you want. That's kind of fun. And then just say, angels, can you clean out all this energy for me? And then give it back to yourself. Let's see that again. So make a 3D gold object that you like and just make it a magnet to call back your energy and call back any of your energy at all that's anywhere else. Just call back your energy, and then especially your innocence energy, your inner peace energy, your inner harmony energy, your contentment energy. Go ahead, keep calling all that back so that you have it for yourself in the present. And say, angels, can you clean this off for me? And give it to yourself. All right, so go ahead, reground, red or orange or yellow. You can just comb through everything. Oh, redo your gold buffer zones. That just takes a second. There'll be a reference video in the healing summary if you need to know what gold buffer zones, if you don't know what they are. And then comb through everything with gold light. Redo your grounding. Check your magnetic alignment of your chakras. All right, and you can just say, angels, can you please give me a healing? All right, good job. Woohoo, we did it. That's a healing. Good job, good job, good job. All right. So I could, I'm going to set the my little timer for maybe like 16 minutes. And so if you have any comments about this healing, what it was like for you, you could text chat that, live chat, whatever it's called. If you have any follow-up questions about something that I talked about in this healing or about the theme, I may have time to answer that as well. If I don't have time to get to your question, which is possible, just repost it again under any video at any time, and I'll get to it by posting a reply under your comment when I can. All right, so I'm catching up. Someone says, because I had asked about where Garibaldi, Oregon is, and they said it's on the coast, east of Portland. On the coast, but east of Portland. Okay, north of Tillamook, on north side of Tillamook Bay. Well, that's very specific. Sounds beautiful. Someone says, oh, I needed this today. Thank you. You're welcome. Someone says, was feeling weepy right before the healing, but been feeling calm since about 30 minutes. Perhaps the healing started. Yeah, I don't know when you put that comment, but I'm not healing people before you see me start, but you know, I am saying hello on a spirit level to everybody and just reminding people the healing's about to start, probably like all morning. You know, so maybe that just woke you up a little and caused you to let your angels help you a little more. But I didn't directly heal anybody until you saw me do it in the live stream. So this is, hi Janet, thanks for healing me and my spouse, you're welcome. So this is, it feels as if I never can get the leaks to remain plugged. I never notice a difference. Well, yeah, you don't plug. You don't want to plug. You want to, when you repair an energy leak, it grows back together. Whereas if you plug, you're shoving something that doesn't belong there in there, and that's not going to stay. So, and you said, someone once said my aura was so black he was in shock and said he didn't want to know why. Well, that's kind of menacing. That's kind of foreboding. I'm looking for a good, free, or inexpensive aura reader app. An app? Any suggestions? No. Aura reader app. No. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Like a place where you just contact random readers, but it's cheap, and somehow they're all accurate and super ethical, even though it's crazy cheap. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think such a thing exists. I think if it's really cheap, it's probably like not very energetically safe. But anyway, maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. But if I look at your energy, yeah, you're not fully repairing your aura. The problem is there's junk shoved in there that you're not seeing. Like hard objects that you're not removing. And so you can't, you're not, if a hole isn't fully clear in your aura, cleaned out, it's not going to grow back properly. So then you're just jamming stuff in it and plugging it to try to pretend like it's repaired. It's not repaired. So don't jam anything in. You're just supposed to remove stuff enough so that you get the actual, like, yeah, you're misunderstanding the process. That's all. There's nothing particularly off about your aura, by the way. I mean, maybe before when that guy, you know, said hi to your aura, it was like freaking him out, but that was probably just a being, and he got spooked by a being in your aura. That was like trying to scare him away. An invasive being. Angels don't do that, but invasive beings, they might not want you to get read by someone who's, you know, gonna help you get more present, you know. So that's, I wouldn't really spend much time on that experience, but that could have been what happened. But anyway, yeah, you just have, you still have aura damage, and then you have, it's like a black muddiness that's jammed in there. That's just, you know, energy from a relative, energy from a couple invasive beings, but it's more just people's energy. And so the rips aren't cleaned out properly. So then they're not going to repair properly. So yeah, you could work on it a little more with sticky gold wax and just clean out, keep removing junk that's in the rips, so then the rips will fully repair. And you can just work on that for a day or two, and then, you know, post under the next live stream or post under a video, can you recheck my aura repair, because previously you said I wasn't cleaning it out enough before, so it wasn't fully repaired. Okay, hope that makes sense. But there's nothing like especially terrible about your aura. Someone says, hi Janet, thanks for the healing. My husband and I are having massive fights and difficulty communicating about housing, specifically where to buy a house. Any thoughts? Yeah, first of all, I would really take to heart that part that I was doing right when you posted your comment about healing inner wounds, so that you can have park bench communication, because it's relevant, let's just say. Because you're kind of screaming at him about what you don't like. You're very in his face about whatever disagreement it is, and then he's just really shell-shocked. I mean, he's like, he just can't even, you have this way. I mean, you have a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy too, so I'm not trying to demonize you or anything. You're a big girl. You have a lot to your spirit, you know? So if you are like sort of triggered and you do small table with somebody who would much, much, much prefer park bench, you're gonna like fry them. Because you're not even just doing regular park bench, you're doing I'm really triggered right now and kind of in your face park bench. I mean, small table, you know? So yeah, I would just say really back off because it's just like upping the conflict. I mean, whether or not he's yelling or you're yelling, like you're really like a high voltage factor in the conflict. So just glue your butt to a park bench and work it. And then, I mean, the thing is, you guys are both in this sort of artificially like, it's almost like you guys are feeling like you're falling from a cliff and you have to like scream at each other harder so you don't fall from a cliff. Like somehow the drama has just gotten so ratcheted up. So yeah, I would just say, like, is it really a tragedy that that doesn't even get decided today? You know what I mean? Like just give it a rest for a day and just like just get your bearings again, because somehow it's become something much larger than where to live. So I hope that makes sense. Work your park bench and work your triggers. And then maybe just do flower healing with each other. You know, like put it in energy flowers, have the angels check them, put them at a very respectful distance while you're still park benching. That kind of thing. All right. Someone says, thanks so much, Dan. I feel so good. Loved clearing the failure, energy, and inner wounds for the theme. I'm starting a new job on Tuesday. Congratulations. And I'm afraid it's going to be intense and I may not have as much time for meditating during the day. Is there anything I can do to prepare for this new job and feeling calmer? Thank you. Oh, your angels say you're ready. They give me a check mark. So you're ready. I mean, you've done a bunch of astral prep for it. So I think it's just, you know, you have some dread, which is like sort of like a blocked back of your fourth chakra and some blocks in the back of your fourth layer that are just sort of dramatizing the whole thing. Maybe too, like above you on your spiritual path, there's some energy blocks there that kind of make the skies look overly menacing and cloudy. So you can unblock your spiritual path above you just so you get a little more comforting energy. But, you know, yeah, it's kind of like part of you feels like you're gonna have to, you know, do battle with dragons on your first day of this new job position, and your angels are like, yeah, we don't get why she keeps feeling that way. I mean, they get it, but it's just it's not, the job is not to battle fire breathing dragons. So you're okay. So just work your dread of fire breathing dragons. You know, like just clear fear. And work your fourth more, the back of your fourth and fourth layer. Someone says, healing myself today. Yes, as you were following along. Yeah, as you were watching. That's great. Thanks for watching. How did I do? And my mom, thanks so much, Janet. And you put your name. Oh, thank you. Thank you for putting your name. I did not know that. Yeah, I healed your mom and I was watching her and she had a lot of minor chakra damage. It did get repaired, but just as a heads up. And like, you know, meridians and stuff, you know, that kind of stuff. And she had creative ring damage. And but anyway, it's fine now. She's in 7 through 3, you know, which is nice for her. And her grounding, even in the back, is unblocked and flowing. So yeah, she did great. You healed yourself. Your angels would like you to keep doing clearing steps clear, they say clear more steps. There's a couple you missed. But other than that, they think you did great. And redo magnetic alignment of your chakras. Because the regular alignment's fine, but the magnetic fields are still like all wonky. So just imagine those gold force fields around your major chakras and heal them until they all click so that they're centered with the chakras. That's magnetic alignment. Someone says, thank you for healing me. I got triggered during the healing and am kind of upset with myself with letting it get to me. Mom-in-law, you mentioned her initials, called with some usual drama and finally told my husband she needs to mind it. Oh man, I'm sorry. Is there any advice from my angels on how I did during the healing? Okay, that's like two different issues, but you know how in the grounding section at the beginning, we got rid of areas that you use blind spots, grounding blind spots, actually, and I didn't put that in my notes. Right before we did unblock your mental train wreck areas in your grounding, we did clear your grounding blind spots. And I think both your grounding blind spots and your mental train wreck areas of your groundings were areas where your mother-in-law was hiding. So then you unblocked and she popped out and then she called and like flipped out and tried to get back into your space. So I think you did great. You know, just because she's triggered doesn't mean you did a bad thing. You know, you could do flower healing for her though. You know, just make some energy healing flowers that, you know, could help her, and then have your angels check them and put them at a respectful distance and say, these are for you. The angels checked them. You know, so you can validate her ego without having her in your space. Which might be a nice compromise. But yeah, you did fine. It's just, you know, sometimes it's a little messy when you clear some people out. They're very determined, but you have to be more determined within yourself. You know, you don't have to verbally have a conflict consciously, you know, but you just, now you know, to clear out your blind spots in your grounding and your train wreck area, mental train wreck areas of your grounding more regularly, you know, and then just, if your mother-in-law calls within 5 minutes after that, don't feel like a failure. It's fine. That's the way it goes. I used to have an ex-boyfriend that would do that. You know, when I'd clear my space and all of a sudden he'd call me and he hadn't called me in like months. Doesn't mean you should pick up the call and talk to them, but you know, it's just a validation that you cleared them out. Anyway, so this is, hi Janet, thanks for the healing. You are welcome. So it says, thank you, Janet, and your daughter and you watched while you healed us, while I healed you. How did we do today? Been feeling a little slow moving lately. Yeah, your third gets a little blocked in the front, your physical third chakra. Just some energy blocks there, so you could keep unblocking your third, so that it's like, you know, you want to imagine the yellow energy from your third chakra, you know, it goes out the back, flows around the front of your third layer and comes in the front. So there should be like a nice yellow river of your third chakra energy flowing in. And if it's only flowing in through like part of it and the rest is all gummed up, that's a problem. And you just keep unblocking it so that, you know, you have a nice big round opening for your third chakra that's unblocked. And same thing out the back. Anyway, you guys did great. Your daughter's really good at calling back her energy. It's cute. Oops, I gotta hurry up. My timer went off. Someone says, I noticed I've been stress eating again. It's a bad habit that always shows up when I'm being avoidant or triggered over something. Is there anything energy-wise that you or the angels noticed there? Well, I think you just solved it right there. All you need to do is clear the avoidance and clear whatever you're in denial about. Just imagine it like energy blocks. You don't have to, write some revelatory book about it or anything. Just imagine like blocks, blanket exercise. What am I avoiding? What's fueling my eating? And then just unblock. One thing, fun fact, I noticed recently, because I did like some comfort eating that was, unhealthy after a meal. And I noticed it was because my grounding had blocked up as I was eating the meal. And, digestion's kind of a big deal for your body. And so if you don't have really nice grounding while you're eating, it can put you in this really state where you feel like something's wrong. I'm just unsatisfied. I didn't get what I wanted, and then it can cause you to try different things after the meal, that are unhealthy and try too many of them because you're still unsatisfied. And all it is a grounding problem. So try to, unblock your grounding enough so that, in the bottom of your aura, just so that you're present and your body systems are feeling more comfortable. But then, like you said, just clear avoidance and all that as well. But sometimes grounding and blocking is a big part of it. So this is thanks for the healing, Janet. I had a big knot of anxiety in my stomach when the healing started. I think someone was courting me, yes, but feel better now. You had a bunch of minor chakra damage too within GV and CV. So I think that was part of that knotting. Is just GV and CV weren't quite right because of all the busted up chakras in them. So, major and minor chakra damage, chakra repair, you could do it more frequently. You're asking how your mom and your friends did. They all did very well. They're all waving to me, giving me a thumbs up. Yeah. Your mom's still in 7 through 3, but she was before, but that's really nice. She's releasing a lot. Your friend, your two friends, they're not super present yet, but that's because they really weren't present before, but everything's repaired. They're just kind of chilling out, like getting used to this concept of like being more present. So like one of them is in 7 through 4, one of them is in 7 through 5, but thinking about getting more present. It's like it's just gonna take some time. But they are working with their angels and they are releasing a lot. So it's just baby steps. So this is how did my daughter do with the healing, and you're mentioning her initial. Yeah, she's fine. She says she liked it all. There was no objections to any part of it. She said it was good. She says she's ready for more. Have you done the tricolor soak video with her? Because she seems like, or you could do it without the video, just teach it to her, but she seems like she wants to try something. And so maybe a tricolor soak, consciously. So this says, I feel so much better, more calm and centered. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, well, good job. Someone says, hi, Janet. How did my son do? Oh, you mentioned your name. Anything you recommend for me to help him, myself, income? Thank you. Yeah, I was especially looking at you both during the healing inner wound part. Both your sons can only handle park bench communication, and you tend to try to force small table communication on them. You're like, are you okay? What can I do for you? What's going on? And they're like, I hate you right now. So that heal inner wounds so that you can be more park bench with people when the need, is there, when it's more suitable. I was watching both of you guys so that you could both heal your inner wounds. I made sure that happened, but that's something you could really do more of. Heal more of your inner wounds, especially ones in the way of your inner peace, especially ones in the way of you being more park bench, enjoying park bench communicating with people. you can help people without being in their face. You can just, your presence, you know, your quiet compassion can help people. And sometimes the intensity that you bring, not on purpose, it's just sort of a subconscious thing. But anyways, your sons are kind of allergic to intensity from anybody. So it's not just you. But anyway, yeah, so you could redo that part when it's timestamped within a day. There'll be a section called Heal Inner Wounds, so you can enjoy park bench communication, and you could redo that for yourself. And that would help both you and them if you just did it for yourself. Someone says, I binge eat until I feel ill when I feel stressed. Is there any way I can heal this? Absolutely there is. Yeah, that's very workable, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah, I have a whole triplet set that we did on that idea of compulsive behavior. You can find, if you search Janet Wright, clear compulsive behavior or clear unwanted behavior, something like that. There's also, I think, if you search Janet Wright, healthy eating, but compulsive behavior, unwanted behavior, stuff like that. But yeah, there's at least one I think there are 2 different triplet sets. One on healthy eating and one on clearing compulsive behavior, and they're both relevant. It just helps you clear, you know, because it's like people's mind will get into like a loop, you know, and they'll just kind of tune out. They'll get stuck on the loop and tune out. Meanwhile, your hand is, you know, putting way too much into your body, you know, so you got to break that loop, you know, and it's very workable. It just takes time. So, you know, admitting it is the first step, you know. But yeah, try to, even little things like, you know, try to be very much more body aware and present, even anywhere near food, like near your kitchen, near where you store food, you know, do a little stretching, do, you know, just breathe, check your grounding, you know, because usually when people have serious compulsive issues, you know, more excessive compulsive issues around eating and food, they're only like half present when they're in their kitchen, you know. And so if you just address it even from that, like I want to be present when I'm in my kitchen, you know, and just work it like that, like baby steps. But yeah, it's very workable. You can do blanket exercise for any baggage that's making you binge eat. But yeah, it's very workable. But you can even just look at it as a grounding presence type thing, because when you're compulsive eating, you're not present. You've kind of half checked out. All right. Hope that helps. Someone says, thank you, Janet. You healed me today. I feel calmer and more peaceful. Yesterday, I felt like I picked up beings. I tried to clear them, but didn't feel fully well until now. Any suggestions? Yeah, you had some minor chakra damage to your meridians. So I think that was also part of what you were feeling. Was like your meridians were kind of off. So you had minor chakra damage to minor chakras. So maybe, you know, that could have helped. I think that was it, a little more than it being a being issue. So this is, hi Janet, going into labor within a few days, congratulations. Had anxiety and was super stressed out regarding the process. First time in this lifetime, but I mean, come on, how many kids have you had and how many lifetimes? Maybe that'll help you think about it. You know, you're an old pro. However, now I feel a sense of excitement to meet her. What would you recommend? Well, I mean, of course you've met in past lives. You would never have a child who was a stranger. So you've certainly met and spent plenty of time together, even on a conscious, both fully incarnated plane before. So there's that, you know, so I guess not much of this is new. Really, you've had tons of kids and tons of past lives. You've had lifetimes where you knew this child before in a positive way. So maybe just that, just think about like, hey, I'm an old pro at this, you know, I'm wise. I have wisdom from past lives. I mean, you've even been a midwife in past lives where you've helped women through this kind of thing. So just try to tap into your, you know, your midwife knowledge, you know, midwife, I don't know if that term translates, but you know, it's like a midwife is one word for a term for a woman who coaches, you know, women through childbirth. But you've you've done that, and you've been like an unofficial midwife in a life too, where you just coached, you know, your own female relatives through childbirth. So, I mean, you got this. You could just take it as a chance to maybe, you know, unblock your lower chakras just a little more, you know, like 2 and 1, you know, like that get present in second and first chakras video, that kind of thing. Just because, you know, down there is, you know, there's going to be a lot of action down there. So the more unblocked you are down there, the more present you are there, the, you know, the more comfortable it is for you. So, you know, like the bottom part of GV and CV, you know, you can unblock those more, those meridians. Just imagine them like tubes, red tubes flowing your life force, red life force upward, and just unblock the red tubes more. And, but yeah, other than that, just remind yourself of all the knowledge that you already have. You know, like through intention, you could just say, I know this, I got this. I've done this so many times. I've helped other people do this so many times. I'm an old pro. I think sometimes you feel other people's attention on you, and then that triggers your insecurities. Like, you know, your mother-in-law pops into your space for a minute, or your mother pops into your space for a minute, or, you know, some friend that you have pops in your space for a minute. You know, they're all like sending love and light or whatever, you know, just wash everybody out and just remind yourself, you know what to do. Hope that makes sense. If you get too freaked out, your Kundalini is on too high. Kundalini is that chakra, the red chakra beneath your first chakra. So your good color for your first chakra is red. And then there's a chakra right beneath your first chakra, aligned the same way. That is your Kundalini chakra. And that's a good color for that is red too. But, you know, keep everybody out of that, and you can have it spinning when you're awake, but not like fast revving. If it's fast revving, it's probably because people are courting it, and just calm it down, melt away the quartz. So it's just got red earth energy in it, and it's just a little calm energy, you know. But if you're freaking out too much, that's your Kundalini chakra and probably your first chakra just going, wah, you know. So just more red earth energy. You can even do an earth energy soak, you know, bring up lots of red earth energy and just soak and just, you know, be calm, you know, have that, calm down your first chakra and your Kundalini chakra. You can even turn off your Kundalini if you need to. You know, that chakra beneath the first chakra, you can make it stop spinning temporarily just so you can, you know, move out of the drama and then just let it start spinning gently again. Of course, if you sleep, the Kundalini chakra, you want it off again. So if that makes sense. I have a playlist on Kundalini videos if you need them, but that should be enough of a little reminder. Someone says, LOL, Janet, thank you about dread, about new job. I do feel like I have to battle dragons. We'll do what you suggested. Someone says, thank you for letting me know the hiding spot. Yes. So it says, hi, Janet. How did I and my spouse do? I think we have different communication styles that is different with capital D. Thank you for healing us. Yeah, I think you do a small table sometimes with family members, and they would prefer park bench sometimes. And again, you know, it's like you don't mean any harm. You just, sometimes it's your default. So you could, you know, keep healing those inner wounds so that you don't have that need for small table communicating, so that therefore your intuition will be better and more clear, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I need to sit on my park bench and have this conversation with this person, you know. Because I think in your family, it's sort of the gender roles are switched, and you're the one who tends to do small table sometimes. I mean, your wife does, but only when her like relatives are in her space. When it's just her, she's more of a park bencher, it looks like. So I hope that helps. You both did great. Someone says, hi Janet, thank you for the healing. I was feeling very weird in my heart chakra since yesterday in the afternoon. Yeah, you had a hard object shoved in there and some damage. So it was beyond cords. It was just, yeah. I felt it disappear once I asked angels to help. Well, isn't that nice? That's good. Sometimes angels make you do it. But yeah, they removed some hard objects and repaired it up and melted a few cords and unblocked the back. So yeah. Yeah, you can just imagine that fourth chakra river, you know, and going into it and then going out the back and just, you know, just check the flow now and then. But yeah, there was a hard object, not from a family member though, somebody else. All right, guys, you're awesome. I need to go and take care of my puppies and just chill out, have my inner peace and harmony. So you guys are awesome, and I will do 2 more healings on this theme, 1 in 2 days on Sunday and then 1 in 2 days on Tuesday. And that's that. And on the 15th of this month is when November healings go on my payment page for purchase. And if you want more information, just check out my website, janetwrightreadings.com, just like this YouTube channel. So that's one of my dogs. So I will keep the camera on while I let him out so you can see him in all his glory. Okay, so an extra moment on camera, maybe. So that's Abel, that's Daisy, and that's Izzy. There we go. All right, bye everybody. You're awesome. See you later.